Greetings and welcome to another edition of AUHSD Future Talk. I'm your host, Michael Matsuda, the superintendent of the Anaheim Union High School District. And as our 8,000 plus listeners know, this show is all about the future of education. And we've had some amazing guests. Today we have the superintendent of the North Orange County ROP, Dana Lynch. Dana, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Superintendent Matsuda.
Yeah, you can call me Mike and I'll call you Dana. How about that?
Sounds great.
We always start sort of like just getting to know you a little bit, Dana, and your journey. I mean, can you share with our audience, I mean, how do you end up becoming the superintendent of ROP?
Well, my journey started when I'm going to go back to college. I thought I was going to be an attorney, and during the summer, I worked with some pre-freshman programs where students were identified that could be at risk in college, and they got to come to college early and experience an interdisciplinary set of classes with professors. They would get the lay of the land, and it's there that I discovered that do I want to apply to law school? Do I want to go into more debt? And then I decided that I was going to submatriculate in the Grad School of Education at the University of Pennsylvania, where I was attending. So I graduated through their teacher credentialing program with my master's degree as a social studies teacher. And I started teaching in suburban New Jersey and really enjoyed that experience. And that's where I met my to-be wife, who was originally from Fullerton, California. She was teaching at the same school, and we decided she was homesick, that we would move to California. So fast forward 2 years, then we're here. And I was a social studies teacher at Troy High School, Roland High School, and then I went to administration as an assistant principal at Braille High School before coming to ROP. But what got me into CTE? I think after spending a lot of time on standardized testing and pushing the values of that and trying to get students to take them seriously, promoting to our parents the AP and honors curriculum as a way to succeed, and then going and hearing Professor Ken Gray speak about other ways to win. And there his speech maybe made me question my why. He said out of every 100 students that are in high school, 85% earn a high school diploma. Of that 85, 70% of those will enroll in college. So that brings us down to 60 students. And of that 60, 63% earn a college degree. So that leaves us with 38 out of 100 that successfully navigate through college. And that's not a lot. And it seemed like that was all we were pushing, is this myth that college was the way to success. And along with other people like our common friend Kevin Fleming, I learned about this myth and helped debunk it. So the opportunity came for me to do something different, and I became an administrator with North Orange County ROP, who was a partner with the school in the district that I was an administrator with. And I've never regretted that. And what I've been trying to do is basically eliminate the barriers that all students have towards career education, which is essential for everyone. So it's a little bit about my experiences and influences.
So, I think the audience might get a little confused because both of us are superintendents and pretty much the same system. Could you explain what is ROP and what is your relationship to these 5 districts that ROP serves?
Yes. So regional occupational programs and regional occupational centers were a concept that was created over 50 years ago through legislation. And it was signed into law by then Governor Ronald Reagan. And the purpose of the ROCs and ROPs was to respond to current and future labor market demands by providing training opportunities that were accessible to high school students and adults through a regional delivery model. And this regional delivery model would open doors for us to students and choice. If they did not have a certain career pathway program at their school, they could take it regionally at another partner school after school or in the weekends. And this also helped our districts who formed us through a joint powers agreement. It helped them by not having to spend money to try to replicate similar pathway programs in every school, because those CTE programs are expensive. The equipment, the tools that are required, the teacher training, all of that. So by basically following a consortium model, that cost effectiveness was the value, another value. I think another thing I'd like to say is like we are an accredited, just like schools are, through the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. And we're like basically the special teams for the 5 districts that we serve, by helping navigate through all the different regulatory agencies that oversee some of these training programs. And some of the bureaucracy there and the red tape is very, very time consuming. So that specialization is what we provide. Again, we're like a special teams for our 5 partner districts, which are Anaheim being our biggest, Fullerton Joint Union, Brea Olinda Unified, Placentia Yorba Linda Unified, and Los Alamitos Unified School Districts.
So one of the key differences in terms of the teachers of ROP versus a certificated teacher is the experience from the workforce pathway. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're unique in the sense that we recruit our instructors from industry, because we believe that their seasoned industry work experience is of critical value to students in those particular career pathway. And for example, in your district, we had, he's since retired, but we had a Pulitzer Prize winning photographer who taught at Magnolia High School. We have award-winning chefs. We have local fire chiefs. We have practicing attorneys. We have retired Boeing engineers. We have Emmy-nominated and patent-holding video producers. We have licensed vocational and registered nurses and general contractors. So there's a wealth of experience that they bring to the classroom. And what we do is we support them through a teacher preparation program, and they do on-the-job training with instructional coaching, and they are all certified CTE instructors, just like a single subject or a multiple subject teaching credential in the state of California. So that's the sort of the uniqueness of those individuals.
I think it's taken a while for our district to really appreciate ROP for all students, because traditionally ROP was viewed as sort of a blue collar job training, the auto shop, which is still vitally important to the economy.
Absolutely.
But, and we had a hard time bringing ROP to a place like Oxford, for example. Can you share with the audience why ROP is now evolved to serve all students?
Absolutely. So today, just to give you a little bit of fast forward, after 50 years of being in service to our 5 districts, we've served over 250,000 students, and we average between 13 and 16,000 students annually, and that makes us the largest ROP in the state. So when we're looking at the transformation, there is now, thanks to efforts like Anaheim, to put career as a focus. College is a way, it's a method of getting towards your career, but it's not the only way. And that change has been very challenging. So let's talk about Oxford Academy. Oxford Academy has 4 different pathways. 2 of those are ROP pathways in engineering and biotech. those aren't the traditional type of pathways that were offered 50 years ago. And most of those were offered by ROP were vocational trade-based occupations. So again, fast forwarding 50 years, things have changed drastically. And I shouldn't say drastically, for the better. The students that take our courses, all of our courses are UC A through G approved. Some of them are approved as lab sciences, some as fine arts, and all of them are approved as general electives. So the students don't have to sacrifice between taking a college preparatory course versus an ROP course because they're one and the same. And then many of our capstone courses, those are the highest level in a pathway where students earn their certifications. Those classes are UC honors approved. So there's been a great transformation in the way people think. And to be quite honest, Mike, it's districts that have led the way like your own that makes that possible. And I remember bringing those ROP programs to Oxford. I was the administrator at the time assigned, and I know that we visited other programs to kind of identify what type of biotech and engineering programs we wanted to have, and we implemented them. And they've been a huge success. The biotech especially has over 250 students that annually are part of the Health Occupation Students of America, which is a career technical student organization, a professional group. And many of the students from Oxford have gone on to become state chapter officers and nationally recognized with various awards that they've had at the state and national and international leadership conferences. So it's really elevated.
Oxford is a great story because
Oxford is a great success story.
There was a lot of, it's like those are the most popular courses in their ROP, yes. But I was there, I was superintendent when we brought that in, and there was a lot of pushback, as you know. Yes. The teachers even wanted more AP courses, and we had to visit other successful ROP programs. But that really informed or influenced the growth of ROP, especially in these STEM areas, and it helped change the kind of old school perceptions of ROP.
Yes, it did.
It is like, to your point, ROP is really about careers. And all careers, and that's why our district certainly has embraced that. How do you, structurally ROP is, I think if it's partnered, if strategically, it's just a win-win. Mm-hmm. Moving forward, and you're one of the first people. You're a very aspirational leader, but you were telling me about an ROP regional hub down in Bakersfield.
Yes.
In terms of your aspiration about ROP, could you share with the audience what that is, and maybe for us to think about in the future?
Yes. So the Bakersfield School District has, I believe, 17 or 19 high schools, and they have a regional occupational center that they had established many, many years ago. But then they went out and they leveraged bond money and different CTE incentive money and K-12 Strong Workforce funds and CTE facilities funds that the state was providing to build basically a modern center. And I've always believed that our schools should be the centers of our community. They should be temples where people are welcomed and have that sort of college feel. And these centers do have that. So having visited them, I'm really inspired because we don't have anything like that here in Orange County. So one of my goals that I had shared with you while I'm superintendent before I retire is to try to get a center built here in North Orange County. I don't know how we're going to get there, but you got to start. And I think we have a field trip planned to go see them in December. So I'm really excited about that because they have state-of-the-art equipment, really great training programs, and they have more demand than they can supply. And I think that's a good thing because all students need access to these programs because the skills that they're learning there, those career-ready practices, are transferable. And we know that in today's society, you just don't go into a career for the rest of your life. People have multiple careers. So you need to have skills that can be utilized in any career field that you go into.
Could you share, Dana, a little bit about the work that AUHSD is doing with North Orange County ROP and the TGR Center, as well as one of our one of our big partners, Providence?
Yeah, they're working through the patient care pathways and the public and community health pathways to really influence the communities that they live in. And I'm really, really proud of the work that they're doing there. And the TGR Foundation have been really great partners, as well as Providence. So anyway, I think that, like those instructors that come from industry, the ability to work with other industry professionals to do inquiry-based learning and the ability to do service learning is so key for students to get connected to school and to then propel them into careers because of that empowerment.
You know, I think because of the exposure to real world careers, especially in the health field, because normally kids coming into high school, they want to be doctors or lawyers, or they just really don't know how big of an aperture each of these career pathways are. And now we have kids coming out of the ROP programs thinking about public health, and thinking of all types of our social work, all types of fields that are related to being a doctor, because that's kind of, they have a very narrow view of the career. So I think that's really, really important that ROP, real world experience folks coming in that could really they really share and influence students in good ways in terms of job opportunities.
Yes, and I agree with that because the instructors having the industry experience really our student survey results tell us that the students feel that they're challenged by having authentic real world applications being placed in work sites through work-based learning. So that's the rigor element. They feel that their teachers care about their success and want them to explore as many different possibilities so they know what their options are. And they're also connected through mentoring, through their on-the-job work-based learning placement supervisors. They're connected with mentors, guest speakers. So they create a network that's really, really supportive. So that's, the relationships building. And then of course, we have the relevance by having those authentic work experiences and replicating the real world work environment inside the classroom and taking that learning that they have from the classroom outside beyond through work-based learning, service learning, project-based learning. Those are and plus the career technical student organizations as well. So it's a really great experience, and it's a depth of experience. And if I can share with you a personal story, I have 3 daughters. They're all real high achieving students. 2 of them are in college, the twins, and one of them got into a very hard to get pre-medical school within a university. She goes to her first pre-med honor society meeting, and the officers are talking about their backgrounds, and they are not just good students, and they took AP, IB courses, but they also are one of them was an EMT, So they got EMT certified through a career training program from their school. And that's what they do while they're in college. So they know that they can work with patients, but they don't want to be an EMT. They want to be a doctor. But still, that experience is very valuable. Another one of the officers was a medical assistant. And then the other one was a nurse assistant. All three of those programs are offered by North Orange County ROP. Now, my daughter was actually discouraged from taking CTE courses because she said she wanted to go to college. So it was take all the competitive classes. So what does she do between her freshman and sophomore year? Well, she decides that she's going to take a virtual medical assisting class. And then they connected her with an externship component. And it's just funny because she could have done all of those experiences free through North Orange County ROP while in high school. And the experience that she had in her work-based learning externship was nowhere near the level of experience that our students get. Like, she didn't do any type of injections, blood draws. She was doing really lower level externship type functions. And again, that's what I feel. Even when I was in school, I remember having to choose between taking my third year of drafting, which was architectural drafting, because I was thinking about that as a career, versus taking the AP class that was at the same exact time as Singleton classes, the same period. And of course, what did I sacrifice? Because I was conditioned and told that the middle class myth is you have to go to college. So don't take that CTE course, take the AP class. And those are things like I regret, because I had some skills there and I wish I knew what all my options were. I wish my counselors told me those things. And I wish that my daughter's counselors told her that these things were available.
Well, and your daughters are lucky to have privileged parents that can help guide them, right? And as you know, so many of our students are not coming from, middle or class or privilege. And that's all the more reason why we need this partnership. You had mentioned mentorships and internships through ROP, and with our AIM program, it's just really amplified. And there's more and more mental health research now that, giving kids a sense of belonging and agency, and so that they can make sense of this complex world, is what also ROP does. Mm-hmm. So we're very, very proud of the relationship, Dana, and I know that on behalf of our board and our 27,000 students, we're very grateful. One last thing, you did want to mention something about the construct and the board that you have, which overlaps with our board.
Yes. So our 7 board members come from the 5 partner districts, and I being the largest, we have 2 representatives from your board, Brian O'Neill, who is our president, and I believe your board president as well at the same time, and Anne Marie Randall Trejo. And your other 3 board members, 2 of the 3 have also served, and we look forward sometime to having Jessica serve on our board. But I would like to thank you. I would like to thank our partners at your school sites and your district CTE support team and your trustees for really believing in the work that we do and being CTE champions. I think it's made a difference and an impact on the Anaheim communities, and I look forward to our continued partnership as you build upon so many different things. I could go on and on and on, all the things that you have, all the plates spinning, but it's all good stuff. And I think you should be proud of that. You're a real model for the state of California, if not the nation.
Thank you so much, Dana.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.